Hollywood Reporter critics picked the best films of 2024. A heady rush of romantic addiction, a transcendent reflection on community, a searing refugee drama, and an empathetic portrait of fury rank among THR film reviewers' favorites of the year. Movies continued their difficult post-pandemic recovery in 2024. Hindering that process was a pipeline drastically thinned by the previous year's protracted writers' and actors' strikes. The summer release slate was especially anemic. The outlook got a boost from the bumper crop of early winter releases led by Wicked, Moana II, and Gladiator II, but box office nonetheless seems headed for an annual tally around $500 million short of 2023 revenues. Studio animation came back with guns blazing. Inside Out 2, Despicable Me 4, and Moana 2 all appear certain to land in the top 5. Among critics' darlings, Flo and The Wild Robot both look to the animal kingdom to find hope for a planet falling apart, while the latter also provided a comforting balm for our anxiety. And the artisanal magic of stop-motion animation made a comeback in memoir of A Snail and Wallace and Gromit. Vengeance Most Foul. The success of Deadpool and Wolverine demonstrated that reports of the MCU's twilight may be premature. But a glance at what are likely to be the year's 10 top-grossing titles points out Hollywood's aversion to risk-taking original material. All but one entry is a sequel or spin-off, and that exception, Wicked, is based on a Broadway blockbuster that's been building brand recognition for 21 years. Horror maintained its theatrical drawing power, led by Longlegs and Smile 2, with the well-reviewed Nosferatu poised to swoop in on Christmas Day. But the specialty box office is still having a tough time, as most older audiences now appear entrenched in their streaming habits. A notable exception to that downward trend for adult fare was Conclave, which turned a papal election into an unexpectedly juicy political thriller elevated by a superlative ensemble cast that includes Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and Isabella Rossellini. A stellar ensemble also distinguished the considerably smaller theatrical release, Sing Sing, led by Colman Domingo in sensational form as a prison theater group member. The profoundly empathetic drama acquires stirring authenticity via the casting of formerly incarcerated alumni of the rehabilitation program, notably Clarence Macklin in what could prove to be a star-making turn. Another of the year's outstanding ensembles was Carrie Coon, Natasha Lyonne, and Elizabeth Olsen in His Three Daughters. Azazel Jacobs' wry chamber piece about scrappy, semi-estranged sisters brought together by their father's impending death. Playing three women of entirely different temperaments forced to find common ground in sadness, the cast could not be better, shrugging off the standard cliches of the indie grief drama in a film graced as much by spiky humor as tenderness. First features continued to augur well for an emerging generation of filmmaking talent. Chief among them was Ramel Ross' formerly inventive, emotionally searing adaptation of the Colson Whitehead novel, Nickel Boys, about two inmates of an inhumane reformatory in the Jim Crow South. Other standout debuts included Pulitzer-winning playwright Annie Baker's luminous rethink of the mother-daughter drama, Janet Planet, India Donaldson's transfixing micro-portrait of an eye-opening moment in a young woman's late adolescence, Good One, Scene Wang's lovely, semi-autobiographical Asian-American coming-of-age tale Didi, cinematographer Rachel Morrison's knockout boxing drama, The Fire Inside, and Vera Drew's subversive, unauthorized queer supervillain parody, The People's Joker. Read on for my ranked top 10, followed by 10 alphabetically listed honorable mentions, and those of my invaluable reviews team colleagues, Lovia Gyarki and John Frosch. David Rooney 1. All We Imagine as Light. Payal Kapodia's transcendent narrative debut shows her roots in documentary as its opening shots survey the metropolitan sprawl of modern-day Mumbai at night. Fragments of conversation establish it as a city of transplants, many of whom think wistfully of the lives they left behind. The writer-director closes in on two nurses who share an apartment. Prabha, played by Kani Khosruti, with soulful depths you could drown in, heads the obstetrics ward with brisk efficiency, and goes home alone to ponder the worth of her marriage to a long-absent husband. Her younger colleague, Anu Divyaprabha, takes life less seriously, courting scandal in her clandestine relationship with a Muslim. When an older co-worker, Chaya Kadam, takes eviction as her cue to leave Mumbai, the two nurses accompany her back to the seaside village where she grew up. In quiet ways, that change of location proves transformative for all three, bringing them peace and a sense of community captured in a closing shot that's pure poetry.